years, our next guest has been dedicated to sharing her love and expertise in dance education. She's passionate about advocating for the benefits of dance beyond the studio, helping leaders and parents understand how participating in dance can cultivate essential skills for successful and fulfilling personal professional lives. Please welcome Sheahan Keinick. Hi, Sheahan. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me today, Kelli.
So how did you come up with the idea that dance skills are transferable to the business world?
I'm so glad you asked me this because I am passionate about teaching and helping leaders use the skills that dance provides in their professional and personal lives, like you said. What we learn in ballet can translate into success in the boardroom, like tapping into increased awareness and the grit it takes to push your physical and mental being towards a performance or presentation, and then deliver that speech at a corporate event with poise and confidence. And I started dancing at the age of 3, so I've been on this journey of self-discovery and mastery for almost my entire life. And sometimes the lessons are tough. You are vulnerable, showing up every day in a bodysuit and tights. And it's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others, not recognizing your worth, not feeling good enough, thin enough, strong enough. However, doing the research for my master's thesis confirmed the benefits of dance education for me. And that's how I wanted to research the embodied learnings from dance, because my experience and frustration over the years has been that many people dismissed my artistic aspirations as just for fun or frivolous, like dance is an unnecessary hobby. Even my well-meaning father, who understandably wanted me to have a financially secure future in a more traditional job setting, did not recognize the value of dance education at first. And he's not the only one. I have witnessed parents of my students encourage their children to leave dance around high school and focus on skills or education that will support a better future. Once again, reinforcing this idea that dance may be irrelevant. But the tragedy is we tend to dismiss anything artistic as non-essential. And what the majority of people do not recognize is that underpinning most innovation and entrepreneurial vision is creativity, abstract reasoning, confidence, and all the other embodied learnings that we get from dance education.
So how does dance contribute to innovation and even adaptability?
Yes, well, innovation and out-of-the-box thinking are important and vital parts for communicating any practical idea. And it is said that great architecture is the intersection of art and science. So consider the construction of a new building and the creation of producing Cirque du Soleil. So from dreaming up the concept and the design to the actual construction process, maybe landscaping and decorating before the tenancy of a building, or set design and costuming, a choreography. Architecture is an example of the harmonious balance of practical use of space and artistic vision, which people hope that it evokes an emotional response from the user of that space, or in the case of Cirque du Soleil, an emotional response from its audience. Both take into consideration the art and science of innovation. And dance requires its participants to be willing to experiment, try new things, be open, play, and problem solve on the spot. And it's almost impossible to be completely prepared. We need to be able to improvise in situations, be adaptable in the studio and in life. And sometimes as the choreographer, I need to adapt because the formation or steps don't quite work. Or as a performer, you make a mistake and you have to adapt on stage, or maybe the lights don't come up or the curtain doesn't come up. And we see just how adaptable we can be when a fellow dancer gets injured and we're in the wings frantically changing choreography because we all know the show must go on. And dance develops people who learn from their mistakes and understand that failure is not the end and the importance of deliberate practice. A ballet dancer executes the same steps at the bar for many years, just adding layers of complexity and expression. They grow by receiving feedback, applying corrections, and making adjustments every class. Learning that success comes with patience, long-term focus to get a specific role, a part in a production, or a career advancement. And this is not something that everyone in our instant culture understands these days. And it is thought that adaptability and improvisation in the business world is like play for grown-ups. So as you get comfortable with the possibility of changing circumstances or the inevitability of change, you begin to develop intuition and openness that helps control fear and doubt. And it's also very useful if you unexpectedly have to make a speech at an event or happen to greet that unhappy client in the lobby.
What about how dance enhances leadership in the workplace?
A great leader is curious and self-aware. And when you dance, you gain a heightened sense of self-awareness, not only spatial awareness, but you become aware of your own strengths and weaknesses, both physically and mentally. And over time, with that curiosity and awareness and confidence, a dancer becomes less afraid of failure, a risk taker who understands the importance of mitigating risk. A dancer understands that by following a process, proper warm-up, cool-down, and self-care, they can help prevent injury. Pushing yourself at this moment has rewards, but allowing recovery time is just as valid. And a leader, as well as a dancer, needs to be accountable to themselves and their team. Sometimes they are the soloist, and others part of the cast. And they need to show up prepared, knowing their exercises, their choreography, or they quickly discover that their actions or lack of rehearsal has repercussions for themselves or their team. And there is rarely success without failure, like the grit that helps an oyster create a pearl. In dance, you fall, you sweat, you hurt, you constantly receive correction, direction, and feedback. You reflect, analyze your posture and movement patterns, apply it, figure it out, and you feel or see a win, and you become more connected to yourself, your fellow dancers, the music, your breath, and you are present. And you do it over and over and over again until you step out into the light, vulnerable, nervous, excited, and you deal with whatever happens in the moment. And if we take this into the office environment, a proposal needs to be presented on a specific date and it's crunch time. As a leader, the dancer exhibits strong nonverbal communication skills, uses breath awareness to stay grounded, presents a confident posture, observation skills to assess their team's body language, and helps them visualize the desired outcome, gives and can receive feedback, and perseveres despite any setback because they know the show must go on. They are adaptable and resilient leaders. And then after this deal is signed and the curtains are closed, we do like to celebrate.
Now, I'm sure there are some dancers out there going, I need her to come and speak to my group, to my parents. Can folks get in touch with you and can you speak to their groups and kind of go over exactly what you've gone over and how important dance is in life?
Absolutely. So whether you want to get in touch with me through LinkedIn or through my website, sheahankeinick.com, I'd love to come out and speak, whether, and just point out whether you dance from an early age or begin as an adult, whether your studio does hip hop, salsa, or ballet. We can cultivate connections with our bodies and our physical instruments and learn how to care for them. And more specifically, I'd like to also point out that dance has many health benefits. It releases endorphins and helps reduce stress, and it is used in neurological disorder treatments for Parkinson's. And whether you're sitting in the ballroom or boardroom or ballroom at the moment, dance is beneficial for everybody who tries it. And so if we think about, or to quote Oprah Winfrey, she says, every day is a chance to draw in a breath, kick off your shoes, and dance. So absolutely, contact me and I'd love to come and speak about the benefits of dance.
Sheahan Keinick, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.